Hi everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Chef Socrates series. Today we're going to be doing a very exciting recipe, the pan-seared salmon. So earlier today we went to Costco to buy a really nice big size salmon fillet here. Really basic things about salmon, they're not cheap. Any other fish out there, sure, they're cheap, but salmon, you're talking bank. So Costco sells really big sizes for, I guess, a decent price, given that salmon is expensive to start with. We're talking around $20-ish, $25-ish, depending on how big, the weight, and all that. Costco also sells these both with the skin and without the skin. The one I have here is with the skin. Typically, I heard that with the skin is harder to cook. But we're gonna do it anyways because, you know, we're no longer interns and we're gonna make miracles happen. Special shout out to my good friend Robert as well. I know you're watching this and I hope you enjoy this. And of course to every single one of you as well, let's get in it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the recipe. We're gonna do this video in two parts. For the first part is, of course, the salmon itself on the pan, very standard. For part two, we're gonna make a special sauce to put in the salmon. For this, we have green onions. And over here we have 2 lemons. These are very orange. Get at your local supermarket, very easy to get. Over here is basically the lemon juice squeezed out of these guys. So all you gotta do is just cut this in half, squeeze it in, and then you extract the juice out of here. So we're gonna leave this aside for a bit. Butter. We're gonna cut this into slices and then burn it on the pan later. We're gonna use an onion for this. We're gonna probably use half of this and then cut into very small slices. Garlic. Here it is in its whole form, and then of course extract the little skin on it, and here we have right here little pieces, but we're gonna cut this into even smaller pieces. Black pepper, we have the Costco Kirkland brand, coarse black pepper. If you have thinner pieces of black pepper instead of the coarse, that's, I say, even better. Next we have salt. This one I have a pink one. It doesn't really matter, as long as it's salt, it works. Very critical for the recipe. Come on, fish. Come on. Come on, fish. Just get out. No. That was a struggle. So remember, the skin, I'm gonna show you right now. The skin's on the bottom here. We're just gonna slice half of this because we're not gonna eat all of this yet. So just get it. Be very careful, be very gentle. If you're already ripping your fish apart before you even put it into the pan, it's a GG. All right, there you go. So this is the size we're gonna work with. Of course, we're gonna cut this into thirds and then we're gonna work with that. The rest of this we can go ahead and put back into the blue thing. All right, look carefully. 1, 2, that's a third. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Do not press down too hard. Slide. It's a knife. Let it cut. If you're applying too much pressure, you're not doing it right. The last end you might have to slice a bit harder because there's skin on the bottom. See that? Almost had it. So there's one piece right here. I mean, that was a struggle. The skin is really the hardest part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let it slide. There we go. Really nice cutly parts right here. I mean, this part, look kind of odd, but it's fine. This one looks perfect. These two look really good. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is, of course, wash it and then put the salt on it on top. All right, so what we have here is a very nicely cut salmon fillet. One of them could actually fill me up pretty good. So, hope you're all hungry already. All right, we're at the sink. We're gonna go ahead and quickly rinse this out. Get your little drain here. And the fish goes in one at a time, right here. Just kind of, you know, swash it just enough. Don't break the salmon before it enters the pan. Pretty good. Kind of get that in there, you know, use your fingers. Nice skin right there. So with that, pretty good. Sort of kind of clean. Alright, so here's the fun part. After washing the salmon, we're going to go ahead and apply the black pepper and the salt on top of it and let it sit for 10 minutes. We do that for 2 reasons. One, so that the salt can extract the moisture, and also with the 10 minutes, we can let the cold temperature slightly decrease now that we're in room temperature right now. apparently a rule is if you put super cold salmon on a pan when it's super hot, it's going to stick. So this helps reduce the potential for sticking. Although we already spent so long trying to cut the salmon, I don't really think this applies in this case, but we'll make it work. So let's pop the thing open. Not too much salt, but just enough. So be very careful with this part. Any step that you mess up can really be bad. Next, black pepper, not too much. Use the small side of it. Pop this open. This is where things can really go wrong. Be very careful with this. So, getting this closer to the camera. Look at that. Even closer. Not too much, right? Just a good amount of black pepper and salt. Here's the middle portion. Here's that last portion. We're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes, and then in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and prepare the sauce materials. All right, let's go ahead and start off with the garlic here. This is a super sharp knife. Cuisine art, you can get it from Costco. Claw method. If this is your first time doing this, take as long as you need to. The stove ain't running. You got all the time in the world to mess this up. I don't plan to use much of these, so we're just gonna stick with one. So you cut the stem off, like that. These, here's a shortcut. Cut this in half. Cut in half again. Actually, no, don't cut in half again. Just work with this. Cut the green onions into very small pieces. Last is the great onion. So, there's a strategy to this. We're just gonna use half of this. Let's see, I think this is a good spot. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay, no, that was a terrible idea. Ah! Knife, do the work. Oh my gosh, this is not safe. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Woo! Hey! We got him. All right, let's see. There we go, this way. All right, next we have our butter. Just get a couple slices in. They don't have to be perfect because they're going to be completely dissolved once you put into the pan. For this, you want to have a large size pan. Add olive oil covering around half of the pan. Use medium heat. Next, carefully apply the fish on top of the pan. Immediately right after, apply pressure on top of the fish using your spatula. This prevents the skin from buckling due to the heat. We just saw there that the fish kind of shrunk a bit. So again, add that pressure using your spatula for around 10 seconds. Keep adding the other fish and do the same concept by applying pressure on the top. You really only have to apply pressure on top of the fish for the first 10 seconds that you put the fish on top of the pan. I'm only doing it multiple times after the fact because it gives me more safety. Oh, what the heck? Remember, the oil is not your friend. You can see it splattering there in the pan. Stay as far back as possible. All right, so let's talk about what's happening real quick. So the skin is currently getting cooked on the bottom. It's very slowly getting cooked right now. We're aiming for a very golden side of the skin, not burnt of course, but very golden on the skin side before we flip it over so that the heat gets on all sides of the fish. At this point, the fish oil is starting to get out of the fish and onto the pan. That's a good thing. Notice it's very watery now, right? We put olive oil at the beginning, which wasn't that much, and now we can see we have a lot more liquid than what we started with. This is a good thing. We're going to use the fish oil and the olive oil after we get the fish cooking to make the sauce with all the other good stuff that we made earlier. So around 5 minutes has passed. We could see the thinner parts of the fish has already been cooked. In a couple more minutes, we're going to turn this upside down to get the other sides. Our aim is to get around 30 to 40% of the bottom side cooked, and then we're going to flip this over, and hopefully the heat will be distributed in a good way to get the rest of the fish. The difficult part about cooking fish is how thick the fish is. If it's super thick, that means, you know, it's going to take a while for the heat to work its way upwards to the center of the fish. So far so good. The skin isn't burnt yet, so we're at the right track. Alright, so some people may say this is the protein coming out of the fish. Whether that's a good or a bad thing for you, so be it. I just want to cook fish, so. Alright, let's see how we're looking. It's getting kind of thick right now. Remember how it was all flimsy with the fish at the bottom? Now it's getting slightly thick where it's starting to hold its shape. The bottom skin, it's hard to see right now with the camera, but pretty crispy. In around 1 more minute, we're going to turn all 3 of these to get the backside now. Remember what I taught you all in the previous episodes? The oil is not your friend. Right around now, this is I think the sweet spot, so let's go ahead and turn it. Be very careful with this. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Crispy skin. That's what we're talking about. Very thick. Don't waste time. Do the other one as well. 1, 2, 3. Flip. Woo! Wait. Next one. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Flip. Get it around that corner. Get them back in their center. So this is what we're aiming for. A thick type of crispy skin, golden, not burnt, that side touching the pan directly. We want that to be, you know, darker, oranger, you know, that cooked, crispy feeling like this. We got more of that fish protein coming out of the fish. It is what it is. Like it or not, it's part of the fish. Pretty good. It's very, very thick. I mean, stop touching the fish, but you know, just gotta feel for that crispiness. Feel free to check the fish every now and then on the bottom side to make sure you're not burning it, but don't do it too often or else you probably break the fish. So checking the bottom side. Ooh, wait, look at that. Hold on. Get it right in the... Get it right there. Look at that. That's exactly what we want. We're going to leave this for about 1 more minute, and I think we can take it out safely. I'm going to have to reflip this over. 1, 2, 3, flip. The center has been fully penetrated by the heat now. The fish at this point is fully cooked. All that same consistent color of that pinkish. We're going to leave this around 30 more seconds, and then we're going to take this whole thing out. And then we're going to make our sauce. This is actually perfect salmon. Robert, I hope you're proud of me. 3. Ooh, wait. Look at that. That is perfect. Look at that. Pretty good. Got the crispy orange at the top there. Keep the heat on. We're going to extract this and put it on the dish. Whatever you do, do not let the fish break. At all costs, do not let the fish break. We kind of messed up the skin there, it's fine. Actually, we're going to flip it over. 1, 2, 3. There we go, it's not even burnt. We got it perfect. The first fish that I put down up there at the top, that's our test fish to see, you know, if everything's being cooked right. The other ones, you know, if this one looks good, then of course it automatically means these ones will look good as well. So there we go. We're gonna put this back on the heat. To make the sauce, quick observation, notice all the wet stuff right here. We need this to make the sauce really effective. Fish oil and the existing olive oil. All right, so in goes the butter. Put this in there, stir it around real quick. Next, we're gonna put all the good stuff here, all in. Let the butter, oil, and fish oil do the magic with the medium heat. We haven't changed the heat at all yet, still on medium. Don't forget the lemon juice. Here we go. It's a slow process, but it's an effective one. At this point, add a little bit of black pepper, just a little. I also want to give a very special shout out to all the safety guys out there. As I always say in this video, safety first. You guys are awesome. All right, this is it. Everything's about solidified enough. It's liquidy, but you can see it's starting to have that little, you know, resistance to it. This is perfect, exactly what we're looking for. So stop the stove, turn that off, safety first. Okay, so for this, really simple. I'm gonna spoon up, kind of congregate the sauce to the corner there. With your spoon, pick up some here, good amount, and then apply to the top of the salmon. Same thing for the middle one. Get a good spoonful. Apply to the top. Last pass to the last fish. Kind of get it over there. Not too much, but just enough to get it covered with the liquid. Get a good spoonful of liquid. Slowly put it on top of the salmon. You're covering the salmon, of course, with its own fish oil again, but it helps give the shininess to the salmon. With the remaining sauce that you have, apply it around the plate for presentation. All right, and that's it. Pan-seared salmon with its special magical sauce. Look at that wonderful texture and presentation right there, my friends. That is beautiful. Perfectly cut salmon pieces. Appreciate the shininess that the sauce gives to the fish. Colors, color scheme, everything fits so perfectly with the sauce that complements the finishing touch of the fish. All right, so I know you're all hungry for this, so without further ado, let's have a taste test. I'm gonna try the test fish first, so getting a little spoonful. That's perfect. Tastes just like a 5-star restaurant, I'm telling you, this is perfect. Black pepper, you taste the lemon, right, from the sauce. Get all the onions and the green onions feel. That's good. Oh, what am I doing? Here, have some. Yum, yum, look at that. You see that texture? Open wide. So good. Notice that the skin's intact in the bottom. Helps give you the flavor of the fish by keeping the skin on. the fish is fully cooked. The center, same color. It's a very soft fish too. You can see that. It doesn't take much force to break the fish open. It's not thick, it's very soft. You bite into it, you're not feeling much like thickness to it. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe for more epic videos and more cooking videos in the future. The salmon recipe, highly recommended to everybody out there. Not that hard to do. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there that you can watch with other salmon recipes, whether it's by stove or through an oven. All the recipes out there, including the fish fillet, very accessible out there. Costco, supermarkets, Safeway, anywhere, it's out there. Share this recipe with your friends and give it a try yourselves. You know, practice makes perfect. I'll see you all next time, and this is me, Chef Socrates. Until next time.